Right, ladies and gentlemen, the showrunner of Doctor Who, Russell T Davies, has done an interview, and there's a lot of nonsense in it. He's now in the interview he confirmed we're going full woke, we're going full political commentary, and if you're not doing that in 2024, then what are you doing? Basically, also said, you know, of course we cast a black gay guy because it's about time. It's about damn time. So all right, fine. Sure, diversity quotas and all that, fine, sure, whatever. It's lame, but at least you're admitting it, I guess. Now he's come out and said, yeah, we've changed the sonic screwdriver because it looked too much like a gun. Since when did the sonic screwdriver look like a gun? It looks like a pen more than anything else. So anyway... And bearing in mind, the sonic screwdriver design now includes like Rwandan signs on it. Symbols. Because apparently the Time Lord, the actor is Rwandan. But apparently the Time Lord now has ties to Rwanda as well, I guess. Because reasons. Super lame. Just super lame. And this is part of it's just virtue signalling. It's just virtue signalling gash nonsense. So I've got to look at it, you've got to look at it. Alright? Bored? My boat to Helltown. So a new report claims that Doctor Who showrunner Russell T Davies redesigned the sonic screwdriver because it looked too much like a gun. Said no one ever. How does that look like a gun? Like seriously, how does that look like a gun? How does it look like a gun? Anyone? Doesn't look like a gun, does it? Like, it genuinely doesn't look anything like a gun! And that... I don't know what that looks like. I don't know. It's like some weird abstract sex toy, I'd imagine. So bizarre. And here we go. Gatwa noted at the time that his 15th Doctor's sonic screwdriver has a Rwandan message written in Gallifreyan symbols. He shared it that says, the sharpness of the tongue defeats the sharpness of the warrior. So somehow Time Lords interacted with Rwanda, I guess. Oh, it's the lamest shit. How do these look like guns? Like, on what planet are you living in, mate, that these look like guns? Like, seriously? What the fuck? Excuse the language. This is when you know it's complete woke nonsense. And it's genuinely just virtue signalling. How do they look like a gun? Anyway. So the new report from Rolling Stone did an interview with Alan Sepinwall. Details the Doctor's trusty sonic screwdriver has been redesigned to resemble a remote control or flip phone because Davies worried that the old Sonic looked too much like a gun, which would encourage kids to pretend to shoot at another. Well, guys, I guess we've got to take all pens off people because they look like guns now. According to this twat. And would encourage kids to pretend to shoot at one another. What are you talking about, mate? There's so much wrong with that there. Yeah, look at the red in my eye. There's so much wrong with that there. One, they don't look like guns. But two, what's wrong with kids pretending to shoot at one another? What's wrong with kids playing play fights? The left-wing ideology is genuinely insane. Like, it's genuine insanity. So this report is just another piece of evidence that Doctor Who's no longer a show to entertain people, but simply a vehicle to propagandise viewers. Very true. Sepinwall shared that the debut episode is a pro-abortion story called Space Babies. Cool. The season premiere offers up the adorable title characters in abundance, but also functions as a clear metaphor for governments that try to control reproductive rights without worrying about what happens to children after they're born. and says, if you're not writing that in 2024, what on earth are you writing? What on earth are you doing? I think our rights are in danger, blah, blah, blah. I covered this in another video. But I mean, that's just insane. Like, actually insane. And there's some other stuff here, like about the sort of propaganda element. It says, look, you know, whether you're 12 years old and just beginning to work out who you are. I don't think 12-year-olds are thinking about bum fun, mate. They shouldn't be. 62 years old and you've never been who you are, or 61 years old like I am and beginning to worry about where we are in society. There's a hero out there cutting his way through the universe, looking damn good in his suits and doing it with a laugh and a smile. It's the gay Doctor Who. And that's what they say. It says, the queer actor playing the Doctor will reach more kids than ever with its new home on Disney+, which is a disturbing idea to homophobes. You don't have to be homophobic to be like, look, I don't want, you know, everything to be injected with homosexuality. I also think you don't have to be homophobic to be like, right, homosexuality, there's a time and a place, and there's age-appropriate times for this. And like 12-year-olds, it's not massively appropriate. I don't know. It's just all a bit... Like, I just think at the end of the day, like, let kids be kids. It's just weird. All of this stuff's very strange. You know, and he literally said, we want to target younger audiences as well, specifically pertaining to all of this stuff. The one thing I keep seeing now is the fragility of the mental health of young people. It's like there's a nervousness about in the air. So that's the hero I wanted for them. If that younger audience is feeling so much, I wanted the Doctor to feel it on screen as well. And that's the other thing that's quite like pernicious and evil about this. So you recognise that there's a mental health crisis, but the mental health crisis is perpetuated and almost built atop this nonsense ideology where people don't quite understand their place in the world. So you want to feed them more? Right. Smart. Because it's really quite evil, actually, when you look at it from that perspective. Anyway, I don't really have much else to say on this. This clearly is not a gun, just as an FYI. Very clearly not a gun. And there's nothing wrong with kids, you know, pretending to shoot guns either. There's nothing wrong with that. This is next they'll be rallying against video games. And you can't shoot people in video games, that's bad. This guy's a clown.